In a world where Gamora had managed to gather all the Infinity Stones, she altered the entire universe to prevent anyone from standing in her way. With this event, new heroes and villains were born. One of these was the Arachnite. Many years ago, on the last day of the World Science Festival, young Peter was going back home alongside Uncle Ben and Aunt May. He insisted that they walk back home instead of taking a cab. Aunt May hesitated at first, but Uncle Ben reassured her that he will protect her. As Peter was running across the forest, some mysterious creature confronted him and grabbed him by his neck. This creature punctured his jugular vein and left him to rot. In the meantime, Uncle Ben rushed to his side and apprehended the monster. However, he was no match for it and he got absolutely obliterated. Peter, however, was still alive and told Aunt May to run away, but she didn't listen to him as the monster pierced his chest. As Peter was dying, a mysterious spider approached him and made a deal with him. The spider bit him and his wounds instantly healed. Following this incident, Peter was never alone. There were voices in his head, telling him to do stuff, arguing with him. Following this, the cops arrived at the spot and discovered Uncle Ben and Aunt May's dead bodies. However, they were shocked to see that Peter was alive and that too with no injuries. Some of them suspected that Peter might have killed his parents, but considering his age and physique, the charges were removed. As he was sitting alone, the voices in his head were telling him to find the goblin and kill it. Peter visited dozens of psychiatrists regarding the voices in his head, but no one understood him. Everyone called him crazy. Years later, Peter Parker had become a well-known hero, known as the Arachnid. One night, Peter was following a villain who wanted to steal blood from a blood bank. Yes, you heard that right. This weirdo wanted to steal some blood. Peter tells him that blood banks don't work that way and he cannot withdraw blood from them. Once Peter stopped trying to silence the voices in his head, he realized that all they wanted was some time to shine. With their help, Peter became a well-known hero and earned loads of fortune. The villain tried explaining that he is doing all this for the sake of science, but Peter mocked him, saying that your selfish blood fetish doesn't count as science. Following this, as he finally apprehended the villain, a guy with a weird Spidey mask appeared out of nowhere and struck the villain with some blades. It was Harry. He told Peter that they are getting late for a meeting and he needs his winning smile to win the contract. Peter takes off his arachnid suit and gets ready for the meeting in a hurry. Following this, he managed to win the contract with some help from Marley Jane and promised her brunch in Paris next week. With this, he heads home and flips his personality to become the Science Peter. In his lab, he runs mysterious experiments and has different priorities. Harry, on the other hand, is tired of his experiments and tells him that they are getting late for the flight. Peter asks him if he can conduct some more experiments, but Harry denies, saying that his lab will be shut down if he doesn't take his work seriously. As they are rushing towards the airport, Harry receives a call from his dad, who tells him to visit him. Harry refuses, saying that they are getting late and that he will visit him after getting back. Peter, however, tells him that he should visit his dad first, as he wants to meet him as well. Following this, they reach Harry's home and start looking for him. Harry's dad, Norman Russell, was a well-known scientist who earned a huge name in the world. However, following an accident, his legs got paralyzed, and since then, Harry has been taking care of him. Despite the accident, he is one of the most beloved philanthropists. As Harry is looking for his dad, Peter's spider sense starts tingling. He's shocked by this and wonders what is wrong. In the meantime, the goblin who had murdered his entire family appears out of nowhere and ambushes him. During this time, the world around him went absolutely silent for the first time in many years, as the voices in his head were also baffled by this. Peter somehow dodges the attack and changes into his arachnid suit. Seeing this, the goblin ran away, and Peter starts following it. As he was following it, Harry also started pursuing them. He was literally begging Peter to stop. However, Peter was not listening to him, as he had finally managed to find the creature he was looking for at the time. As Peter finally caught up to him, the voices in his head stopped. With no one to guide him, Peter was useless. The monster slapped him, tearing his mask. Peter realized that he has to battle the goblin without their head, as he punches the monster to the ground. As Peter was approaching the goblin, Harry electrocuted him from behind, rendering him incapable to move. With this, the voices in his head returned and told him to kill Harry. Meanwhile, the goblin slowly transformed into Norman, Harry's dad. Peter was shocked to see this, as Harry picked up his dad and apologizes to Peter. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel.